Good morning and compliments.
Thank you to you too.
It's my day one back at work.
It's my day one too.
I should have spoken to you last week to say, how do I get ready for this day? I mean, we've been putting our feet up. We've had activities. Now many people are ending holidays. We're getting now to start. How do you actually get ready for the new year, for your normal, back to the normal grind, so to speak?
I think it's completely normal to feel a sense of perhaps kind of dread or reluctance to get back into routines, because we spend so much time, energy and thought into what are we going to do over the holidays. And a lot of people, even if they don't go away, have this complete break from routine and are free to do what they want to do. So getting back is quite difficult, and I think it's normal to have these kind of feelings. What's important though is that in time you do adjust. If you don't adjust and you're feeling distressed continuously, that you're back in the same and you feel like you're in a rut, perhaps that's something to look at in terms of how did you get where you are. But there are things that we can do to make it easier. First of all, to be realistic. The dramatic changes don't happen in one instant. It's small steps. So you've got to look at what is it that will make it easier for you to get back into your routine. For some people, if they have the option not to start on a Monday like we're starting, perhaps to start work on a Wednesday or a Thursday, so it feels like it's just you're dipping your toes in and then you're still having another break before you have to go. And for other things, it's trying to put things in place that will make it easier for you to cope. So looking at what would you look forward to, maybe putting things in your first day that are going to be fun or enjoyable. What really is important though is when you're looking at making changes, because we all at the beginning of the year think what would we like to do differently, is be realistic and make sure that you put small things in place. Most resolutions, New Year resolutions, are broken very quickly.
Okay. Before we unpack that a little bit further, I mean, just on day one for many people, they go back. We are all slaves of our emails. Yes. And you're going to have dozens and dozens of people. You see, you switch on that PC, you log on. If you still remember your password that you put before you went on holiday, or you have to have a fight with IT department to say, come please, I need to reset my password. What do you do? But once you get into that world, I mean, what kind of advice would you give? Because some people might have, you have lots and lots of emails. I mean, surely you can't respond to all of them on day one.
And I think the important thing is to prioritize. To first of all realize that you can't get everything done at once, and if you start saying I'm just going to get through every single email, you're really setting yourself at a disadvantage. But to look at what is urgent, what needs to be done immediately, what can't wait, and then to make sure that you don't spend time on things that can wait. So it's about scheduling, it's about prioritizing, and it's about reflecting on what's important.
Yeah, and many people are parents as well.
Yes.
From next week, Wednesday, I think schools reopen.
That's
so
right.
there's that. So part of easing back is not just about your own work, it's about the other tasks and activities that surround you as an adult. If you're a parent, you're also beginning to stress about, are you ready for schools, especially if you're a grade 1 parent.
Absolutely. And it's not just the physical preparation, which is huge. You know, going back to school, getting uniforms and labeling, it can feel absolutely enormous. So that is a stressful time. But emotionally as well, especially for parents of children who are going to a new stage, as you mentioned, grade 1 or grade R, it's important that you look at helping your child and yourself adjust to this very new environment. So taking time to talk to them about how they're feeling and think about ways to make this transition easier. Schools are normally very good about this in terms of making the new pupils feel comfortable.
Okay, and the all-important New Year's resolutions, you were saying something about them, that be realistic. What other advice do you give around New Year's resolutions?
Choose to focus on things that are achievable. Break them down.
So don't set yourself up for failure even before you get going.
Don't set yourself up for failure. If you decide that you're going to completely change your life and you set yourself unrealistic goals that you've never been able to meet, you're just going to feel huge disappointment. And in a week or 2 weeks' time, you're going to say, oh, I can't stick to this anyway. Rather think about what you want long term and put small goals in that you can achieve. because then you're working towards something. Big change doesn't happen in a moment. It's the small actions in between that eventually lead up to that. And be kind to yourself. I think we all set very high, well, a lot of us set very high standards for ourselves, and we're very self-critical. Give yourself room to make mistakes, learn from them, and it doesn't all have to happen on the 1st of January. You know, things can happen throughout the year, but be gentle to yourself, be kind to yourself, get support.
Thank you very much. Clinical psychologist Ruth Ancer there, giving very good suggestions and some tips on how you can ease yourself back into your normal grind after the holidays. And if you've set those New Year's resolutions, be realistic, be kind to yourself. It's not going to happen over one day or a few weeks. It's a long journey.